All right, I believe we are live, so hopefully the audio is working. If not, please let me know if the audio is not working, because again, that would be slightly annoying. But we are going to talk about Cole Palmer. We need to talk about what exactly happened with yesterday's match versus Everton 6-0. Big match for Chelsea, for Pochettino, but obviously a big match for the young players, especially Cole Palmer. 4 goals, a perfect hat trick in the first half, which we will talk about, and everything that did happen in this game. But really, Cole Palmer is the talking point today because what we witnessed yesterday is just showing you how great of a player this is. And Pep Guardiola has to be rethinking the sale of Cole Palmer from Manchester City to Chelsea because think about his future at City. If he had Foden, had Palmer, had a few of these other guys on stick around, Erling Haaland, these guys are all going to be elite in their own categories. And yet, City just let go of Cole Palmer at the beginning of this season. Pochettino, Todd Bowley, the rest of the sortium, what they've done to bring this player in, I think it was questionable at first, but we are seeing how good of a player he actually has been. He's so smooth on the ball and off the ball. That first goal with the nutmeg, then passing to Jackson, Jackson playing it back to Palmer, curling it to the far post. Again, just a brilliant shot that really, when you look at that goal, that could be goal of the season for Chelsea. And he has plenty of goals. He has 20 now, which puts him at the same mark as Erling Haaland and going for the golden boot. Now, think about this for a second. We have a midfielder attacking forward, you could say it, because he's not really playing in the holding mid position. He's not a 6 or an 8, but he is the joint top goal scorer right now with Erling Haaland. If you would have thought about at the beginning of the season, Cole Palmer being at the top of the list right now or tied for it, you would have been laughed out of the room. It doesn't matter what team you supported, who you were, any pundit. If they would have said that, everyone thought that was ridiculous. And granted, he has been fortunate. He has been able to take a bunch of PKs. Chelsea have been awarded quite a few, maybe a few questionable ones. We're not going to get into that as well. But the fact that Cole Palmer is cold every time he takes a PK just shows you how elite this player is and how confident he is because whenever he steps up to take a PK, you know the ball's going in. It's the same thing when Jorginho used to take it for Chelsea as well. We would see him just step up and take the ball, and it's every time that Cole Palmer steps up, it's the same thing. We're seeing him time and time again step up, and he's such a young player to be doing this at such a young age is a massive compliment to this player because you don't even see this with older players. And I know we've been worried about having some players that really have the tenacity to have this some type of like grit with them, the experience. Well, Cole Palmer, we are seeing this, even though, yes, he wasn't really part of the squad last year for City that went on to win the treble. He was still in the locker room. He still knew what was going on. He knew what was expected of the players, especially what Pep Guardiola, one of the greatest managers, always wanted. He's been able to utilize that experience and now has transitioned that from Manchester City into Chelsea. Now, I'm not sure if all the players are getting behind him just yet. That's still questionable. I think Pochettino still is trying to get these players going in the right direction, even though we're 32 weeks into the season with multiple cup games and everything. But still, what we are looking at right now with Cole Palmer is something that is just spectacular. Because, like I said, if we can build a player around this guy, Chelsea's future is going to be looking great. I mean, this guy, like I said, he can play the ball anywhere. He can dribble the ball. He can shoot the ball. It's amazing watching this guy play because if you have watched him, it's a breath of fresh air. I'm not going to lie. Just watching him receive a ball, the way he can turn with it, it's just something that, again, not many players can do. And in this game against Everton, again, scoring 4 goals is something that we need to talk about. Now, there were some issues with Pickford. We're not going to say that this was all Cole Palmer. Pickford had just a horrible game. If Pickford could have done anything better, it would have been not to play the ball to Palmer in one of those goals. But still, Palmer being able to pick apart Everton time and time again throughout that match just showed you that even against smaller clubs, and when I say smaller, Everton have been struggling this season. They have been just way off the mark and what they're expected. Granted, they have lost 10 points due to FFP and everything. But what we've been seeing from Everton is just nothing what we've seen in the past couple years with this team. And Cole Palmer made sure that we did not struggle against this side. And we have struggled against Everton before. But like I said, what he was able to do in this game just shows you that he should be in the running for player of the season. And like I said, I know this is a hard thing to give out to players sometimes because what you're looking at is possibly what this player is able to do, especially for a player that's on top and with a team that actually wins the title itself. Where Chelsea right now are sitting in ninth position, it's going to be very difficult to award a player the player of the year. But you have to really look at the thing right now. Chelsea have been absolutely struggling this entire season. Let's not sugarcoat this at all. The fact that Palmer has been able to do this at Chelsea, who again have been just terrible, missing opportunities time and time again, just shows you if this player was at a club like City and actually playing in the system, or at Liverpool, at Arsenal, people would be speaking so much more of this player. And I know they already are speaking about Cole Palmer, how well he is. But the fact is, if he was at one of those teams competing for the title this season, it would be a no-brainer to put him in contention for player of the season. Now, I understand he is fairly young yet, so he'll probably win young player of the season, which I don't know if they can win both of them. I do apologize. I hadn't looked at it before I started this video. But that being said, though, he has the abilities to be the player of the season. Now, I understand that Rodri is probably in contention with that right now, depending on Erling Haaland and how well he does for the rest of the season, even though he's been up and down this season. I would even say Foden should be up in that topic, along with Declan Rice. But still, Cole Palmer deserves to be in the talking point as of now with how well he's been doing this season. 20 goals, 9 assists, which again should be way more than that. We've wasted so many perfect opportunities that Cole Palmer has played into the box. Jackson's missed plenty of opportunities. I know all the other players have missed multiple opportunities, Sterling to name another guy, but still, if this guy can be on the trajectory that he has been this season, the next couple of seasons with Cole Palmer at Chelsea is going to be electric. It's going to be like Eden Hazard with Jose Mourinho. This player is going to just be able to slice through defenses like a hot knife through butter, which it will be a phenomenal watch again because we have been lacking a creative player like Eden Hazard since he left. And Cole Palmer is that guy. Now, granted, he's not as quick as Hazard, which again, you can't really fault him for that, but he still has the capability to understand and pick where he needs to go and knowing where to sit in space and also play those perfect balls to our players. So, with such a young age, give him more time, more development, more players that are better around him. Because let's be frank here, some of the players around at Chelsea right now are not keeping up with his standards. And Pochettino hopefully can see that. And hopefully this summer they can find some players to, again, keep up with Cole Palmer, because if we can bring more players like his level and his caliber at a fairly decent price, this again is going to keep building Chelsea and then pushing into the top four and hopefully competing for the title. But that being said, Cole Palmer is the guy this season for Chelsea, for the Premier League. I think everyone needs to be watching what he's doing at this club. And that being said, one guy that should be really watching is Gareth Southgate, because this man should be going to England. Make room for him. I don't care who you drop. You should drop Rashford. You should drop a few other players. This guy needs to go, and Ollie Watkins needs to go as well, but that's a whole different subject. Cole Palmer should be on the plane going to Deutschland for the Euros. If not, this is a slap in the face to England fans, to Cole Palmer, to anyone that has any credibility for Gareth Southgate, because what Cole Palmer has been doing this season should be warranted for the England national team, because this is a guy that if he's on the pitch, you can rely on him to score a goal, step up and take a PK, whether that's Harry Kane, Saka, Palmer. Those are three guys already that are going to just crush it on a PK. If Gareth Southgate wants to go to the finals, you may want to try to go to PKs in some of those matches. You need to take Cole Palmer. But that's a whole another story. And again, we will talk about that in a different time frame on England squad, if Cole Palmer does go or not. The main thing that we need to talk about, though, is the fact that this man should be winning Player of the Year award. And I have no idea what the odds were at the beginning of the season with him scoring goals, with him winning this award. But if you were to put a tenner on that, I believe you would be making quite a bit of money, because there's no way he was less than 101 odds, if not even more. So the fact that he's already showing his capabilities is, again, just amazing to watch. I can't wait to watch the rest of the season with Cole Palmer, because, again, I think this guy could still score possibly 10 more goals. I hate to say it. I do not want to curse him, but Cole Palmer could hit 30 goals yet at the end of this season. Now, that's with cup games as well. I think going into that Manchester City game, I think we do score a few goals in that game. I think we do advance now after this last win to go to the final, which again gives us 2 extra games plus the extra games that we have yet in the Premier League itself. Cole Palmer, I'm saying here right now, is going to score 30 goals throughout this entire season and hopefully get 15 assists as well. Yeah, I would like to see a little more, but I think that's reasonable to expect from this player. So I want to know, though, what do you think about Cole Palmer? Do you think this guy should win the award? Should he win the Just the Young Player award? Or what do you think he'll win the Golden Boot? Again, comment down below. I'll get to those comments as quickly as I possibly can. If you did enjoy this content, we do lives every now and then. Just I think this is a better way to do it sometimes, just because I can talk and it uploads right away. But the fact is that you can actually ask me questions if you want to right away. And therefore, again, we can have more of a communication. So like, subscribe if you have not. Again, I greatly appreciate that. And I will see you in our next video.